Hello guys, just a quick update on my build I've been using lately. The one I used before, basically it's still the same actual build, I've just changed the skills. So we've still got Tarnished, Lady, Malagda, Visage, just for the offensive penetration one piece. The Mundus is the Lover, Shattered Fate for the other one. 5 medium, 1 heavy, 1 light, and oakensoul. All need to be infused. I still haven't got infused on that yet. All of these I've got tri-stats on. But for more damage you probably could just put them for magic. You don't particularly need a big stamina pool. So if you put it all into thing, but I also like the extra health, so just because you are quite squishy, so every little helps really. The food I am using Bewitched Sugar Skulls. I was using the Artesian Pickled Fish Bowl. It gives you a bit more magicka, but the damage is negligible, and I just would rather have a bit more sustain and stamina for when you run out of magic and you need to use your convergent, whatever that's called, I can't remember. Using the tri-stats potions. So, but now the skills, using crystal weapon still, shadowy disguise, dark conversion, endless fury, just so when you kill someone you get your resources back. And now I'm using streak instead of the bow, but snipe, a lethal arrow, just because it gives you a bit more maneuverability, and this still hits pretty hard anyway. You hit harder with the bow, the lethal arrow, but this is still good. And power overload, because you've got and on the champion points, because I've got fighting finesse master, arms and weapons expert for the heavy attacks, so 20% heavy attacks, deadly aim. So now if I do crystal weapon, I'd do a full heavy attack and then hit that. It actually hits harder than this, which I was surprised about. Only slightly. Oh, that was a good hit there. But you can actually hit really hard with the... Okay, it's proven me wrong now. But I was actually hitting harder with the full heavy attack. There we go, like 81,000 on just the heavy attack. Heavy attack, endless fury straight afterwards. So it hits pretty hard. Obviously you hit a little bit harder with the... You can hit up to 100,000 with the lethal arrow. That there. And this snipe light attack. So that hits harder, obviously. But what I found is when I'm actually using it, it's not 3,000. Yeah, this hits very, very hard. And I still use both. But when you want to have... This is good from a distance. But that's not always the case in fights, so that you can't always be at a distance. And sometimes when you're about to get caught, you need to get away. And this streak has just been a lifesaver so many times. So I can do a heavy attack, and also you can do this, streak into them when the tarnished hits, and it just finishes them off. So if they haven't quite been killed by the one shot, which a lot of people actually do anyway, so you don't even need the streak. But I found, especially in battlegrounds, you do this, do a heavy attack, streak, and it just finishes them off. And then obviously the Endless Fury will go off again as well with the tarnished, because you get them under 20% and then they just blow up. And then also you can do that, it stuns them, so when they're stunned they now don't have a chance to heal quick enough, and then they just die. So it works really well, and I've been getting a load of kills with it. Just it works better in some ways. If you're in like defense, so you're up in the tower, up in the castle, and you're being raided, you just stand up on the bridge and shoot them with the lethal arrow and stuff, and that's pretty good from a distance, and you one shot a lot of people. If they're blocking, obviously it doesn't work, but that's it. So yeah, I've got good, decent stats on it really. So 18,000, 93 spell penetration. It's decent. It's pretty decent weapon damage, and I've also got on here now on my bow shock damage, where I did have oblivion damage, because the passive actually increases your shock damage on the sorcerer, so it's actually really handy to have shock damage, and I think it might be hitting a bit harder. Also the champion points, yeah, I'll show you that. Champion points are still the same on there. Celerity, so you can get around faster. Bastion, Pain's Refuge, Sustained by Suffering. You could change one for, I guess, Fortitude or more health, but this is working for me. Especially with Streaker, I just get away, get around the corner, and you're under health, and then streak again, streak twice, do this, and then you can just hide. It's easy. You can just get away with streak, do this, hide, and then try and outmaneuver them. Yeah, works really well. I'll just show you what it's like when you've got you get the precursor down to okay, 130,000 has got left in it. There you go. 130,000 left. Do this, do this. Oh, heavy attack. Oh, he's dead. So that was I didn't get it in a second that time, because it took too long. But yeah, I've got like 130,000 on the precursor when he's nearly dead. Obviously you get that Endless Fury, hit him again for another, what is it, 14,000 or something? What it is. 13,000. An extra 13,504 damage. So yeah, you get him under 20%, that hits also, so that's an extra thing. But yeah, I hit him for like 100, oh, it's 129,000 I think it was. Something like that. But yeah. So I don't, what that really equates to on an actual person, whatever resistance they have, it depends. But I've killed people for over 40k on their health, and when it all crits, I had people. I've had a couple of people messaging me asking what my build is. One guy said each hit for like 7,000, so that's all them numbers at the same time hitting for 7,000. But this was, to be fair, it was on the snipe build, so I was doing this. Okay. I hit with that. Yeah, I had this on, so this was my build, and I hit him. All them numbers were hitting for over like 7,000. Because they obviously must have prepped. Yeah, all them numbers on a player was over 7,000, so you add them all together. I'm not sure how many numbers in there, but it's quite a few. That's 6 numbers. So that's 6 times 7. That's 42. So that'd be 42,000 technically. I would have killed that. There you go, 100,000 that one hit for. I mean, that hits hard. As a I know it's on a dummy, but that I don't think I've ever had build hit quite like this before. And even other people's builds I've tried, they've never hit like this. But yeah, that's a little update. You can use both, but I started using the other one more just because it's more convenient than Cyrodiil and Battlefields, also Battlegrounds. Yeah, hope you enjoy.